Obi grew up in a small village where life was simple and peaceful. He lived with his father, who was a hardworking farmer, and his mother, who was loving and cared for their home. Obi's father taught him everything he knew about farming, how to be patient, and how to work hard. His parents always told him that one day, he would take over the farm and continue the family tradition. But things didn't go as planned. One day, Obi's father fell very ill. At first, they thought it was just a fever, but soon it became clear that he was very sick. His father got weaker every day. Obi tried to help, but nothing worked. They called the village doctor, but he said there was nothing more they could do. After a few weeks, Obi's father passed away quietly in his sleep. Obi was heartbroken. His father had been his hero, and now he was gone. The village mourned with them, but Obi's world felt empty. A few months later, Obi's mother became ill too. She had always been strong, but the loss of her husband took a toll on her. She became weak, coughing a lot, and she grew tired. Obi did his best to take care of her, but she passed away quietly one evening, just like his father. Now Obi was completely alone. His parents, who had always been there for him, were gone. His aunt, Aunt Ngozi, took him in and tried to care for him. But life was hard, and Aunt Ngozi didn't have much to give. They lived in a small, simple house, and Obi knew he had to find a way to change his life. One day, Aunt Ngozi said to him, "Obi, you must go to Lagos. There, you can find work and build a better life. It is your only chance." Obi didn't want to leave, but he knew Aunt Ngozi was right. He packed his things, said goodbye to her, and left for Lagos State. When Obi arrived in Lagos State, everything seemed big and strange. There were tall buildings everywhere, and the streets were full of people and cars. He had never seen anything like it. He felt small and lost, but he kept moving forward. Obi went to the house of Chief Okeke, a rich and powerful man who agreed to let him work as a servant. The house was big and beautiful, with a large garden and many rooms. Obi was amazed by how different it was from his small village home. At first, life in Lagos was hard. Obi worked long hours, cleaning, running errands, and washing the cars. Some of the other workers, especially Chike, who had been with Chief Okeke for many years, didn't like Obi. They saw him as just another servant, someone who had to prove himself. But Obi didn't complain. He worked hard, did his best every day, and always stayed honest. Over time, Chief Okeke noticed Obi's hard work and kindness. Unlike the other servants, Obi never tried to take advantage of anyone. He was always respectful and humble. After some time, Chief Okeke began to trust Obi more. He gave him bigger responsibilities, like taking care of important guests and helping with the business. Obi worked even harder, and soon, the chief saw that he was a young man with great potential. Years passed, and Obi grew into a strong and successful young man. One day, Chief Okeke called him into his office. "Obi," the chief said, "you have worked hard and shown me that you are loyal and honest. I want to settle you. I will give you money to start your own life." Obi was shocked. He had worked so hard for this moment, but he never expected it to come so soon. Chief Okeke handed him an envelope filled with money, and Obi felt like a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. He was finally free to build his own future. After being settled, Obi decided to visit his village and show Aunt Ngozi how well he was doing. When he came back to Lagos, he felt like a different person, confident, strong, and successful. He also noticed Adeobi, Chief Okeke's beautiful daughter. For a long time, he had admired her from a distance. But now that he had become a successful young man, he felt brave enough to speak to her. Adeobi had always noticed Obi, but she never thought much of him because he was just a servant. Now, however, as she saw the man he had become, she began to see him in a new way. The two of them spent more time together, and soon they realized that they cared deeply for each other. One day, Chief Okeke called Obi into his office again. He smiled warmly and said, "Obi, I see how hard you've worked and how much you've grown. If you wish, you can marry my daughter, Adeobi." Obi was surprised but happy. He had always admired Adeobi, and now he had the chance to marry her. He asked her, and she said yes. They were both overjoyed. But not everyone was happy about Obi's success. Chike, one of the older workers who had been with Chief Okeke for many years, was very jealous. He had worked hard, but Obi had risen faster than him. Chike couldn't understand why Chief Okeke had chosen Obi to be settled, while he had been overlooked. In his anger, Chike left the mansion without saying goodbye. He felt betrayed and bitter. But over time, Chike realized that his jealousy had cost him a lot. Unlike Obi, he had never worked with honesty. He had always been impatient, trying to cut corners to get ahead. Chike eventually returned to Chief Okeke's house. He went to Obi and said, "I was wrong. I let jealousy cloud my judgment. You deserved everything you've received. I want to apologize." Obi, kind as always, forgave Chike without hesitation. "We all make mistakes," he said. "The important thing is that we learn and move forward." Obi and Adeobi's love grew stronger with time. They got married, and together, they built a successful life. Obi had come from nothing, an orphan with no family, but through his hard work and honesty, he had created a life full of love, respect, and success. Chief Okeke, proud of Obi, continued to guide him, and Obi never forgot the lessons of his parents, to be strong, humble, and work hard in everything. Obi's journey from a sad orphan to a successful man was not easy, but it was one of courage, love, and growth. He never gave up, even when life was hard. And in the end, his patience and honesty brought him everything he ever wanted.